Hello guys, good evening. Welcome to today's class, week 4, session 3. And we are going to continue from where we stopped. Where we stopped in last class, we're trying to deploy a contract using Ank clients, and I ran into some errors due to not refreshing the contract or due to not finding a way to refresh the contract, because I know that there were quite some things that I was not used to, like with Ank clients. Or I think it has been fixed in this new release. So let's begin. I'll share my screen, then we continue from where we stopped. I'll deploy the contract, and I think what else again? What will I do? What will I do? Yeah, so is the contract over? I don't know if this thing is even still working, so but let's increase our. Yeah, thank God. So if you have an client installed, you can probably take on this. The owner should be my AMV. The owner should be this. Um, I don't know if I should wait. Let me go to this. It's deploying here. Hopefully, we don't encounter any errors. Somebody raised his hand somewhere, or was it a mistake? I didn't seem to be a mistake. Yep, deployment successful. Just in a click. Yeah, of course, you can use SN Starkly to deploy it, but once you have your agent account, agent X, and have some amount of, no, I don't think, do you need some amount of tokens? I don't know, but you can try. Do I think I have some amount of tokens in my agent. Wow, 0. But then, yes, I have some amount of tokens here. See, 71 stuff. I don't know if it's required though, but I've always had some Sepolia test tokens here. And they are wondering how to create a Sepolia account. Normally, if you go here, you see 2 accounts here. So you click here and change it. Normally, your own should be on mainnet. So if you're on mainnet account, This is how it looks like. From here, if you're on what? Normally you'll be around here. Yes, you'll be around here. But if you're on mainnet, you'll be on mainnet. But if you want to change it to Sepolia now, you click here, change it here to Sepolia, then pick any address. So that's it. To copy your, I think last week they taught you how to handle and clients. Copy your address, copy your private key, find your private key here, export private key, and that's it. So I think that's that. Just copy your this thing, paste it on your, paste it on your. Wait, can you hear me, John Bosco or whoever? Or maybe you're not understanding what I'm saying. But you guys know what I'm saying now. Like you're keeping up, or should I like break it down very well? Okay, okay, thank you. Samuel, I have something to say.
Yes, Chief. Good evening. Well done, Chief. Happy weekend. I'm currently facing a particular problem. I created a Starknet smart contract. Although everything is fine, my code is all right. Even if I run this thing, scap build, everything runs fine. But in my code editor, all the code is just flagging errors, red lines, red lines. But if I execute it, everything runs fine. I don't know if you have encountered that kind of issue before.
Are
But
you
are
with
you?
your laptop with you?
No, currently no.
Then maybe whenever you're free tomorrow, you can debug it together. You will share your screen, open the meet, then I'll try and see what is wrong with. Yeah.
Okay, no
So
problem. That's all.
that would be, yeah, that would be on your end tomorrow. You can just DM me. I don't know if you have my number or you know my number on the group chat.
No,
DM
no,
me,
no.
then you open a Google Meet. Okay. I'll post something on group chat today, so then you can now DM me from there.
All right. Thank you very
That kind
much.
of stuff.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah. John Bosco, you said you weren't taught completely taught last week. That is on Ank clients, but there's nothing really hard there. Just look at how it works. Yeah, so I've deployed it already, but most times they're just going to here, find your root. The root is normally this here. This is your root. The folder that contains all these things you're seeing here. So you're going to create a file under this folder, your .env file. Then to have these three variables, just as it is. Yeah, I don't change the name. I don't know if there's any thing to change the name from. So this will be this is just an example. This is the main env here. Your private key. This is my secular private key. So I'm free to show you guys. But the private key of this folder now, you pick it from. You have your I don't know of Bravos, but you have your agent X. You pick it from your private key. Like I said, on this agent, normally when you open your agents now, you have this. When you open your agent, you have something like this. You get, and like for on default, if you have not switched it or anything. So this is on mainnet. So what you need is Sepolia. So you click this up place where account is. You click this mainnet button here. You see the list devnet Sepolia. You click Sepolia, then you click the account you want to use. The account now, this here, you copy it now. When you go back here, that you copy it and paste it here. This will be your account address Sepolia. It will be here, right? Then you, I can wait. I can also let me paste. Let me. So sorry for the listen. So I can paste this for you, or I might still push my code, but I can just paste this in his boot chat. And whenever I create your env in your root, you can just paste this is what you need in the .env file. Your private key here, the one that I just copied now, that is from God. If you open here now, that's that's your account now. You see, not to copy your account address from here. You copy it, you paste it in your account address Sepolia. Your private key, you go this same place. This is your Sepolia, this is the account you're using here. So you just click this three button here. Then export your private key. You put your password, you put unlock, then you will not see your private key there. You copy it and paste. Then the RPC URL. For now, this is the RPC you are using. Normally, it should default to one other RPC. But that RPC now, that is Blast API now. Their RPC now is discontinued, meaning they have stopped production on that RPC. So we'll be using this one. Yeah, I can copy this too and paste. So this is the RPC that we'll be using for the RPC URL Sepolia. Once I've filled this up, you can close the anchor and reopen it. Here, close all contract panels. Then here, once you close it, you can now reopen it. Then the anchor will refresh on its own. They cannot deploy your contract. So you put in, I don't know, I cannot go back now, but you put in this one constructor there. There's one button, there's one space for your constructor where you can put in your values. So you can put in your values there, then click deploying. Just one click, it will go. So that's it. So this is a contract address. Normally, I love copying it and pasting it in my code just for future notices. So sorry. Yeah, and I copy. You can go to stack scan and inspect this contract if it works or if it was actually deployed. Yeah. So any contract you deploy now, you just go here and check. First things first, you change his mainnet here. Just change it from mainnet to Sepolia because of course the Sepolia we deployed on. Then you search here. Yep, he's here. You see it. So this is your contract. So you can read and write here. Balance of owner, total, decimals, name, symbol. I think this is what we have here. You have it here. What? Balance of owner, total supply, balance of owner, total supply, decimal, name, and symbol. Yeah, they are here. Then to write to the contract, approve, transfer from and mint. Approve, transfer from and mint. So our interface, yeah, our functions are correct. So I think that is it. Then let's go back to this client here, then try to interact with our contracts. Let's close this panel. Then you want to see the name of our contract. Normally our name should be, you show that it was actually deployed. Our name should be our name is my token. My token of shell is 252. So we have to like convert shell 252, I think. So we can also do this first on stack scan, get the name. Get the name. That is, you read contracts. Name query. Yep, see the value here. My token. Decimal, hex, text. Let me see how it does. Or let's see how it performs on our clients. Name. No, read. Yeah, so this, I think this should be hex. This should be hex. So one thing I'll tell the maintainer of this is to convert this hex to something we can read. So that is it. Yeah, you can mint too. So you click mint. Yeah, click mint. This is balance of, right? So let's mint some amount. No, actually, in this contract we did this in the constructor. Now we sent our initial supply to the owner, and I'm the owner. You understand? So this is the owner here. I use my account here when deploying it as the owner. So now I want to check the balance of my balance. So I can go here, balance of this guy here, and see this is how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 billion. I have 1 billion tokens. Yeah. I was big boy that I am. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 12. So to show that the contract actually works. Yeah. So what else do you have to do now? You want to check the transfer. So I don't know which I want to do some transfers. I don't know if anybody has any contract address here, any say any address at all. I'll send it on the group chat. Maybe forward you, maybe bless your account with the tokens that I deployed. Then you have transfer from this to this. Normally, when doing a transfer from, you can do a check here. In real life scenarios, you have to check that or assert that both values here are not zero addresses. Zero addresses in the sense that here is zero, here is zero. You should not be able to transfer from somewhere to zero. More like burning your token, sending it to a non-existent distance. And I guess it will actually send, because I think zero is a contract address too. 0x0, I think. Or maybe it's a trial error based on what you're using. Next week, you see how, because now this token I've written now, you must understand that I've written this token now. And when you're doing your own assignment also, you write your own. The other person write his own. So when you should take all these things into action now. You know that people have been writing their own since the past 20 years. Sorry, when the blockchain will come out since let's say 2012 or something. Right? That's when Ethereum came out. Or let's say for the past 3 years or 4 years, people have been writing their own token. So it is not how you can just keep repeating it. So in Cairo or in Starknet, they have made a component. It's just like your um things you do in maybe your front end, they are written a library for it. So you don't have to start redoing it from scratch again. You just have to use a library. So they're written in Cairo code, they have what they call components. Component, just like a React component, is reusable. So that the difference now between component and contract is that the difference between Starknet component and Starknet contract is that you cannot deploy just a component. You have to wrap the component in the contract. All these ones we'll do next week. So um yeah. Thank you all for your addresses. Let me check this one out. So if I want to send something, if I want to send transfer from transfer from I don't know if these right functions are working, but no, let me just do transfer. I want to transfer to Jumbo School amount of 10,000. That's gone. So if I'm going to check the balance of Jumbo School, Jumbo School now, it should show me, yep, 10,000. But if I'm going to check my own balance now, my balance should reduce. My balance should reduce here by 1 million minus C. Yeah, so my balance has reduced. So that's how it works. Now, if I'm going to send another, maybe I want to send 1 billion. I want to send 1 billion now to Samuel. It will throw an error because 1 billion is greater than the amount. So let's do another transfer. Mind you, when you're doing, you look at easy transfer. So we're going to check if now it is supposed to show insufficient balance. But I think this returns a hex. So we have to change the hex now to text. So yep. Want to send 1 billion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, it failed for some reason. Let me screenshot this. Yep, cancel. How do I cancel this? Oh wow. So yeah, this is the error. Um, I'm very sure is I don't know. Should why is this showing this long something? Yeah, multi-call field. Normally, I think is see it here. These are keyword here. Insufficient balance. So you don't have enough balance to send to Samuel. I'm very sorry, Samuel. But anyways, that's how it works. Then what else? Which other function are we trying from? Transfer from. Transfer from. Let. How do you mock? How do you mock the color? Mm, Um, it's not how we mock the color here. I don't think we are able to mock the color here. So, but anyways, I think that's that. Transfer from mint owner to that supply. You can also to go and try it. Maybe let me copy this address. Maybe in your free time. I know there's no free time in this world. I don't know. But I know maybe in your free time you can check, inspect this address. Maybe in Ank, using Ank or the Stack scan, then play with some functions there. So I think that is that on this. So let's go back to the slides and check what was left. Oh yeah. Here are slides. Slides should be okay. And here, this is the link to the slides, please. So I don't know for those of you that don't have the link to the slides, this is the link right here. Send now. Oh, yeah. So slideshow. I went through all these ones. Declare, deploy. We just need one click, and I've showed you how to load your env with Ank. So we just need that one click to deploy and deploy it. Life is meant to be that easy. I don't know if you understand. So I don't know, we won't be going through all these. But you must know that when deploying a Starknet contract, it will first declare it. Yep, yep, yep. I need notes, notes, notes. You first declare it, then you deploy it. File, new notes. I'm also a prior tester for Ank too, so that's something that we need to change there. Um, um, then what else again? Yeah, mocking. What else? Oh. All right. So that's it. What else I want to do is changing the color and the rest. So what next? Yeah, I remember what I wanted to do. Yep. So this is it. What else? I think our job here is done. Sorry. Shrink back. Um, so yes, I was saying something. When during a declare, it's the one-time action per contract code submits the logic blueprint, creates a class hash, uploading the blueprint for a house. That is just the analogy used. Now, this class hash is used for most times when you're trying to upgrade a contract here. You know, when you deploy a contract, you want to upgrade it. Instead of maybe you added a new feature or you made a mistake that I want to correct. You not start correcting and deploying a new contract. No, no, no. You can just upgrade the already existing one. Everything that waiting to the storage will still remain there. So let's say it's a contract that people have been using. I want to upgrade. You don't need to start bothering about you lose data and the likes. Everything will still be intact. So you just have to upgrade what the contract looks like. And doing that will still be next week. We'll teach you how to upgrade next week. So normally this Anki does two things at once. Although we'll try and fix it and try to make it just declare. Because once you declare, it gives you this class hash. And the class hash is used for the deployment and it's used for the upgrading. So in your contract, it will be an upgrade function. You copy the class hash, paste it there. Like now, currently, you cannot see any class hash here. Will it show you the contract address? Wait, let me go to settings. Yeah, so this is it. So there's no class hash here. And you might need the class hash. Because if you update this contract now and you want to, you cannot deploy again. You just have to declare it and copy the class hash, paste it to the already deployed contract. In that the upgrade function, then click enter, then upgrade the whole contract. So I think that's all for this deploy. It can be done many times from one class, create a new instance with storage. A new instance. Bear in mind, this is a new instance. Most time, want to deploy, maybe have a token factory. There's something they used to call factory. We talk about that one later. But a factory is what produces contract. So now I might write a contract now that produces this token contract. So instead of, if you deploy this one once, if you deploy this one once now, and you have to start going there and deploy it again. But you can create another contract that helps you deploy this. Then you deploy that contract so that maybe the contract now has deploy token. And maybe the contract now, in that deploy token function now, it has all these parameters that you put the owner, this. So once I deploy that factory code of contract, then you just see one deploy function. So all you would need to do is put your values there. Once you click the deploy function now, it will now return the address of the token you deploy. So yeah. That's just for the factory side. If you have any questions on that factory aspect, you can also specify. Anyways, on the last slide, we have the full ecosystem. These tools don't exist in isolation. They connect to a wider ecosystem. Yeah, so like we use just now, we use TaxScan. Voyager too can be used to inspect your contracts. But I like Starkscan maybe because it's white in color. It's bright. I like when things are white. I love to see what I'm doing. Why Voyager is kind of scary, but you can use both of them to inspect your contract. Then for your front end integration to interact with your contract now, no, we're interacting with it with all these Ank clients, tax scanner. At some point in time, you will need to interact with the front end. So to interact with your contracts with a front end, the JavaScript front end or a TypeScript front end, you can use Starknet JS. Then the Python backend, you can use the Starknet.py. I think they have Java too. They have Go. They have C. What else again? C sharp. I don't know. So just like a library used to interact. Then wallets added X Bravos for managing account and signing. Yep. So if you have any questions on what we just did, feel free to ask me. No questions. Oh no, this class is short, sharp. But I think we're through with the declaring and deploying for now. Any you close class or like you close class early today because we're through his scheme for this week. Normally I should teach you guys Starkly and this thing, but yeah. Well, let's go through it. Somebody have something to say.
Anyways, I don't know, before we call it a day, I don't know whether if you can see go over that aspect before the contract deployment. I think I didn't quite get that in our last meeting. My network was disturbing that time. Like once we are done writing the smart contracts, what's the next step before we deploy? Are we going to build it then, or is there any other command we need to run? You understand? So I don't know if you can just help us with that.
Okay, so once writing your contracts now, and maybe your compiler for some reason is working that day, and there are no red lines on your listing, so you do star build. It builds your contract and generates a target folder. Your target folder is somewhere around here. Your target folder is here. So once you scar build, it generates this target
That's
folder. So that's all you do.
okay.
So what do you say?
I said I was unable to see your screen.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see.
Yes, this is my VS Code. I hope you can see the VS Code. So if you once you do scar build, it generates this target folder. It generates this target folder. Yeah. So once you generate this target folder, then you create a .env file under this root. This is the root. This folder that contains everything you are seeing here. That's where you create a new file name.env. Then you paste in. I pasted something in this chart here. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. So private key account this and this, and that's what you are going to put in your env. Copy your Sepolia account. I showed it. I don't know if you saw that one too. I can show it again. You copy the account address from your agents. And for your private key, you copy your private key too. You go here, your account address here. Account address here, copy it. Your private key, make sure you change this thing from maybe on
I
default,
don't
you won't be
know.
mainnet. So first, yes.
Sorry, my network is just so terrible. I've not been seeing any screen. Yeah, it just shows that you're presenting, but I've not been following up. Today's network, eh?
Yeah, is your network. Although the replay always be there on YouTube, so in case you didn't see my screen, you can always like go to YouTube and just check it. It'll be faster for you because I already heard
Okay.
what I was saying, just to see what I did. Yeah, I we didn't
Yeah.
do much today, so that it's
Okay.
then
Thank you very much.
for yeah, you're welcome. So your agent, the here will be on mainnet at default. If it's on default, you change it to Sequoia. Then account one, when the account you're using, they export your private key. So that's it. You export your private key, then put your password there. You see your private key. Then you copy it and paste over here. And I send the RPC URL Sepolia. This is the one we're using. So you just put it here. That's all. Once you put it there, your ARC client is here already. Normally, this is how it looks like when you want to deploy. Once you put that env first, you now load your ARC client. Then it has this RPC that it puts there. It reads it from your env, and it reads the account from your env. Then this is the constructor core data. I have just one core data in my constructor. My constructor data is just the owner. Because that's why it's just showing me owner of contract address. If I have more than one, of course, it will be listed here. It will be plenty. Once you put in the right variables, you just click deploy button and it deploys. That's all. That's just basically all. In the past, if you're using what is this? We're using SN cast, SN deploy, or SN call. You have to you write on your terminal and you get so many errors. I'll never get an error because I'm using a Mac. But when you're using your WSL, you won't even know where your problems are coming from. Maybe is one issue your WSL has, or Windows is interfering with something. So you just be seeing red. That's why most times the last bootcamp, most people were not even able to deploy their contracts because you put in too many shell variables, blah 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 blah, and so on. So, but with this client now, we just put in your set up your env like I just said, then put in your constructor code data, then click deploy as fast as your MTN network goes and deploy. So I think that is just how easy deployment is now. So I think I've explained that part. Then you can also query your functions and see how they are going. Maybe in later times of ANC, we are going to upgrade some functions and some features of ANC to be able to do things that you cannot do now. So yeah. And if you're using the Ank, please, maybe there are some things you feel that the Ank can do and it's not doing it. You can also drop a comment on the group chats. Or if you have something that maybe you don't understand the extension, the Ank extension. You're trying to deploy, showing you some kind of error and blah blah blah. You can always report it. We love reports so that we can do better for you guys. So I think that is that for that. In the next week we are going to be talking about components and the rest. Till then. But till then, you have any questions, ask. If not, you are just how to end this class. I know you guys will be very happy. End the class very quickly. I used to be happy back then. I don't know. Yeah, so most of you are awake. I know at the end of that 10:30 class, you me, I also want to sleep. In that last class on Wednesday, I was even falling asleep there. How will it be if the teacher that is teaching is falling asleep? Hey God, when I shall all lucky today. We thank God. So no questions. If you have, not just these questions, like if you have questions of last week, if you have things you want to debug, if you are not ready now, you can also create a link. I'll message the group chat after this class. I'll message the group chat and say I'm the tutor for this week, so you can DM me and say let's work on this thing. Not this night, I want to sleep this night, but I used to sleep. I don't know for you guys. Some people are Batman used to save their country. For me, I take my sleep serious. Then tomorrow morning now, we will now go and try and debug whatever we need to debug. Debug it as quickly as possible. And I hope my battery will be there to help out. Then what else again? And I really, you guys are the real devs. They're the real heroes. Yeah.
Maybe I'm also not a real dev because me, I also sleep at go.
You guys are the devs. Anyway, in the past, I used to be very awake. I don't know what's happening to me nowadays. Anyways, I know if I sleep now, I'll still wake up around that 1 a.m. So that's how my body should work. Last week, last 2 weeks, blah blah blah. If you have any questions, you can ask now, boss. In the absence of no questions, we call this class. It's very short though. Take up to 1 hour. Anyway, you call this class a week. Bye guys. See you next week. Gracias.